Professor Ellis. This is video blog 2 on our reflection. The first question is, based on the biblical perspective section, what lessons learned can be gleaned from Nehemiah's actions in identifying risk? I think he recognized that God had to be in the midst of what he was doing. He also recognized the need for assistance at the job he had. He didn't find himself to be prideful or arrogant that he can handle it, he doesn't need any help. What risks did Nehemiah identify, prompting him to ask the king's help? He recognized the risks that were before him, the risk of being attacked by the Trans-Euphrates area as he was making his way to the build site. He also recognized the need for approval in the form of a letter to the kings that were in charge of the forest and such, so that as he went in to cut down logs and so on for use in his project, that he would not be shut down by those leaders in that area, as he had proof that the king approved what he was going to do. How can I apply this to my daily walk with Jesus? I think we need to recognize that God is in control of all of our circumstances. Our mere life is in God's hands. So we need to regularly find ourselves on our knees before the Lord with our plans in order for us to gain wisdom from God, that He is giving us direction on which way we should go in a given circumstance. I'm reminded of James 4:13 through 16 that says, "Come now, you who say, 'Today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that will appear for a little time and then vanish.' Instead, you ought to say, 'If the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that.' As it is, you boast in your arrogance. All such boasting is evil." So I think that's the key here, is that we need to recognize we may have all kinds of plans, but unless they are within the plan that God has for us, we run in vain. What are 2 to 3 risks associated with your project? Well, the first one I would flag would be manpower. The 80-20 rule that says 20% of the workers do about 80% of the work apply with my company, Northrop Grumman. And it just so happens that many of that 20% are actually supporting my project. So they're involved in that already. And they already have a full-time job, and they already have other responsibilities in addition to the full-time job. So that is a concern. Scope creep. As I mentioned in an earlier post in this class, one thing that did hit me was I attempted to get a breadth of reporting and metric requirements needed for the organization prior to this project. However, there was another project going on that was just coming to conclusion that I was aware of, but I was not actively involved in. And though I had some of those players that are part of that 20% in my team helping determine which reports we needed, I did not have the program manager that was on that project in my meetings. So recently, we had a meeting all together with that program manager, one of the integrators in my organization. And when we talked about my project and the reports that we needed, he stopped us and said, "Well, hold it, we have some other reports we need to include in there." So scope creep has become an issue. And then lastly, a need for reorganization. In my organization, we have a structure for the employees that is actually too much for them. Even though I may complete this project, if we do not reconsider how we structure the organization, giving them more tools may indeed be unsuccessful. It may not help them in the level that we are hoping that it does. Have a blessed afternoon.